So, well, let's get started because it's we've got a full agenda here and that. So I'd like to welcome everyone. I'm calling this meeting to order at 13:02 p.m. for the meeting. And can I call upon my wonderful secretary to see about taking minutes for the meeting?
And how about recording privileges?
She's already got it.
Awesome. Just check it.
Yeah.
That's probably what she messaged you about.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she can record it and take the actual
Awesome.
information.
And anybody that
from
won't
it,
be able to make it, you know, I guess we'll put that up on YouTube too. Anybody that can't make it, you can always go back and see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with the members' permission, that's what I'll do. I'm going to use it in order to make sure I have the minutes correct.
Mark me down.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
We'll call for a motion of that in a few minutes there. So the first, just a couple of housekeeping tips with Zoom to make things roll along, since this is an actual formal meeting. I will ask that all members please mute your microphones. This way it allows whoever's speaking won't be interrupted in relation. Now, if there are questions and that, certainly unmute your microphone and ask away. No problem at all.
Does everybody know how to mute their microphone?
I think they probably, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, okay, if you're looking at your screen and you're seeing everybody, if you look at my screen, you see everybody on there. If you go down to the bottom lower corner, you will see a microphone and a video camera. You see that? Take your cursor, put it over your microphone and click it, and a red line will come through it, and that mutes it. And then when you look, so if I click mine.
Al, sometimes you have to move your taskbar.
If you're using a mobile device or a phone, a tablet or something, you have to tap the screen before anything shows up at the bottom.
So anyway, if it is an issue, I do have as a host here, I can mute you if required, because I know sometimes we've got our radios on and ideas go off in the background, or dogs are barking or that, and it does create a bit of an issue. So anyway, we've called the meeting to order. So what we're going to do before I approve the agenda, I'm going to have everybody just go through and do a quick introduction. Now, introductions can last an hour and a half, all right? We don't need your life story. All we need to know is your name, your call sign, and your location for the record. So I'm Al Boyd, president of the club of V3AJB, and I'm located in Little Current. So now I'm going to call the individuals to come in, and you unmute and identify yourself for the record, if you would. Eugene and Jenny, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm V3MG Eugene from Elliott Lake. I've been a Manitoulin member for a long time.
Jenny here, VA3JCX, obviously Elliott Lake.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Dave Filmer, you're next, sir.
Dave Filmer, West Lafayette, Indiana, W9BF.
Okay, thanks a million, Dave. Great to have you aboard. And Krista, you're next.
Krista Keck, Dave's wife from Indiana, KC9KAF. Hello, everybody.
Thanks very much. Great to have you aboard. Stan, you're up next, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Stanley Corin from Sudbury, Canada. Victor Echo 3, Papa Sierra Echo.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Wilf, you're next to Elliott Lake. Go ahead.
Oh, good morning. I haven't muted myself yet. Yeah, Elliott Lake. Yeah, Wilfred. Yeah, spelled with an ID. O-L-I-N. Yeah, Olin in the vernacular, the Scandinavian, like Sundin, the hockey player. I had it explained to me. Well, I was up in time for breakfast, so I'm ready for the meeting. Carry on.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Wilf. Good to have you aboard. You're next, Rolly.
Uh, Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rolly, and I'm from Coppercliff, and my call sign is VA3CRE.
Excellent. Great to have you aboard. Lou and Jeff, you're next. You're
Hi,
muted.
everyone. Lou, VE3LDY, Sitting Secretary Treasurer here in Little Current.
And VE3JFN, backing up the secretary here.
And Director.
Well, director too, yeah.
Director. Yes, please identify yourself if you're a director too of the club. Andy, you're next, sir.
Gotta demute myself here. Andy of McGregor Bay and Newmarket, Ontario. And my call is V3ORE.
Thank you. Great to have you aboard, Andy. Tom?
Tom Stunbrotten, Victor Alpha 3 Tango Sierra Sierra, and I am in Hamner, Ontario.
And also have a trailer out in Spring Bay too.
And out in Spring Bay, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Claude, you're next, sir.
Okay, I'm muted. My name is Claude, Manitoulin Island, Mindemoya Otter Lake area. My call sign is KJ7. Hold on, I'm wrong call sign. That's my US one. VE3CYX, new member.
Okay,
That's
excellent.
about it.
Okay, great. Good to have you aboard. Frank, over in Sudbury. You're muted, Frank. Sorry, Frank, you were muted.
Okay, sorry, there we go. Victor Echo 3 Alpha Charlie, Frankie in Sudbury. Hello, everyone.
Okay, great to have you aboard. Thanks.
In case you don't know, if you're on a computer, to quickly unmute, you can just tap the space bar. Use it like a push to talk. Just hold the space bar.
Yes, Rusty, I was doing that, but the other thing is that something else was taking control here.
You lost focus, Grasshopper.
That's correct.
And you're next, Rusty. Go ahead. Well, good afternoon. This is VE3WVA. I am the current sitting Vice President of the Amateur Radio Club, and I'm in Shiging, Ontario.
Great to have you aboard. And Gary, welcome aboard. Good to see you. Come on in.
Yes, it's Gary here in Manitowoc, Victor Echo 3, Whiskey Golf Charlie.
Okay, great to have you aboard, Gary. Thank you very much for checking in with us. Let's go over to Garson and Dennis. You're next.
Well, howdy doody there, everybody. This is Dennis here in Garson, Ontario, VA3 DCB. I belong to Sudbury and Little Current Club. Thank you.
Okay, great to have you aboard. Let's go down to Wyerton, Marie. You're muted, Marie. Oh, there you go.
The name is Maureen, call sign VE3 Mike Indy Oscar. My home club is Manitoulin, and I also belong to the Grey Bruce Amateur Radio Club in Owen Sound.
Wonderful. Great to have you aboard, Marie. And Michael, it's all yours, sir, out in Rockville.
Yes, Michael, Victor Echo 3, Mike Foxtrot Victor, and I'm in Toronto, formerly of the Bay of Islands, in the summer, and hope to get back up there again this summer, at least for a short visit.
Okay, great, Michael. Great to have you aboard with us, and then we'll go to Mike out in Rockville. You're muted there. There you go.
Yeah, it's Mike, VE3OLC in Rockville, the big suburb of Rockville.
Excellent. Good to have you aboard, Mike. Good to see you again, too. And Robert, down in Oshawa, are you able to come in?
Good morning. Simply a guest from Oshawa, VE3 LLE. Been interested in the Manitoulin Club for a lot of years, and just have the privilege of joining you people. Thank you very much, Al.
And it's great to have you aboard, Robert. Good longtime friend of the Manitoulin group. And John down in Waterloo. Good to see you. Come on in.
Yes, it's John from Waterloo, lovingly known as Victor Echo 3 Bad Boy.
Well, I hope you've been keeping good this winter for sure. You'll probably become bad when you get back up here, indeed. So there you go.
We're a bad influence on him.
Yeah.
I should say I'm also Manitoulin, Mindemoya for the summer.
That's right. You definitely are. Okay, great. And Ken over in Sudbury, come on in.
Good morning, everyone. Ken from Sudbury here. Just joining the club here.
Excellent. Great to have you aboard, Ken. Thank you. And a new face to the group, BJ, you're next. Come on in.
Morning, everyone. Calls Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Juliet November. Excuse me, and just home for a little bit. So I thought I'd join everybody here and see what I've missed. Don't really have a home location at the moment. I'm kind of everywhere. So I'll turn it back over to you, Al.
Okay, very good indeed, BJ. Yeah, BJ's a transport driver, so he's traveling and keeping our goods moving. So thanks for the work you do. And with that, Vic, you're next. Come on in.
Well, my name is Vic, and I'm located in Coppercliff, and my call is V3KBU, and I support the Sudbury and Manitoulin clubs, and I'm glad to be included as a part of this entire group.
Hey, well, thanks, Vic. Longtime member for sure. Next is Martin. All yours, sir.
Yep. Martin Cottle from Tagwong, VA3 Mike Foxtrot Charlie, and I'm sitting director on the club.
Okay, great to have you aboard, Martin. And of course, Michael's already come in. So Joey, you're next. Good to see you today.
Afternoon, everybody. Joey, VA3 GOC and VE3 XMU. Al was the one that got me into the club and with my first ticket. I mean, the only thing we could find was VA3 GOC, so I got to handle Club Troublemaker. Back to you. Thanks, Al.
No, you wanted to be government of Canada. I know. Yeah, anyway, we won't go there. Okay. Good to have you aboard, and good morning to or good afternoon to Sherry, too. Good to have her listening along. All right, carrying on, we'll move on. And Denny of V3OOZ, you're next, sir. Come on in.
Hello, Denis Bois in Espanola, Victor Echo 3, Oscar Zulu.
Good to have you aboard, Denny. Thanks so much for checking in with us. We'll go up to Whitefish Falls and the fine couple there. Come on in.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And it's Ted here, Whitefish Falls, VA3 CTE. And behind me, VE3 LTE. Hello, everybody. Sue, Whitefish Falls. And there we are. Back to you, Al.
All right. Everybody give a quick wave and a happy birthday to Sue there. It's her birthday, so there you go. All right. Thanks so much indeed. Good to have you aboard. All right, make sure I get everybody. The boxes are jumping around. Next is Igor. Come on in, Igor. All yours.
Hello, everybody. I am Igor, V3 Zulu Fox from London, Ontario.
Great to have you aboard. And Igor is our contest coordinator for the club and does great work for us, putting us on the maps all over. And with that, let's go up to Elliott Lake, and I see Janice and a fine feathered friend of the club too. So come on in, Janice.
Hi, VA3 POX, Janice and Elliott Lake. I'm the treasurer of the Elliott Lake Club, and this is Kali, the Wonder Chicken.
Well, great to have you aboard, indeed. So thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. All right, next is Philippe. All yours, sir.
Bonjour, Philippe, VA3POF, supporting the Manitoulin and the Sudbury Amateur Radio Club.
Wonderful. Thank you, Philippe. Nice to have you aboard with us. Let's go out to Eastern Ontario, the Pembroke area, and Robert, all yours.
Good afternoon to everybody. Robert McFarlane, Pembroke, Ontario, the president of the Renfrew County Amateur Radio Club I support, the Champlain Regional Repeater Association, and the Manitoulin Club, where we have a cottage near Kagwon. Back to you, Al.
Well, thank you so much indeed. Always great to have you aboard, Robert. Robert and I share a lot of ideas and that from president to president, and we appreciate his experience. So good to have you aboard with us indeed. And with that, from one president to another, we'll go over to Rob in Sudbury. Come on in, Rob, all yours.
Hi, my name is Rob. This is Victor Echo 3 Sierra Uniform Delta, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, Rob. And Rob's the president of the Sudbury Amateur Radio Club. So great to have you aboard with us indeed there.
Thank you.
All right. Next, longtime couple, member of the club out in Whitefish Falls and also in Sudbury. Bill, all yours.
Well, thanks very much. Faye is listening to something on CBC Radio, but she'll probably join later on, and we're all anxiously waiting the results for what we're going to do with RMI and, of course, what happens with our president, vice president, etc. So we'll be listening along, Al. Thanks for calling me in.
Okay, well, great to have you aboard, Bob. Thank you, or Bill. Thank you so much. And talking about Bob, you're up next. I see you didn't get your camera running, but that's all right. Hopefully, you're able to hear us.
Hope you can hear me.
Oh, we can. Loud and
Oh,
clear.
good. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It worked yesterday, and it's refusing to work today. It's Bob Young, Victor Echo 3, Echo Tango Echo, member of the Elliott Lake and Manitoulin clubs. So happy to be here, at least in audio, with audio.
Well, that's great. And are you able to see us all, Bob?
So far, so good.
Okay, great.
But
All
I've
right.
been
Well,
fighting with it.
Well, that's fine too. And people are welcome to mute your cameras if you wish to. If you don't want to be seen either, that's it's not that you don't want to be seen, but maybe you got to go up and change something or get a cup of coffee. So feel free to do that. It's very informal that way. All right. Did I get everybody? Did I miss anybody by chance? Because the boxes keep popping around. We have a total, Madam Secretary, of 34 that are technically on Zoom at this present time. And I'm hearing none from anybody that I may have missed. So let me welcome everybody to the club annual general meeting for today, Sunday, the 25th of April. Part of our club bylaws is that we do run our annual general meeting every year to let the membership know what the club has been doing over the past year and the health of the club, and of course financial report, and another big component is the elections of the executive for your club membership. So with that, I did send out the Zoom invitations, and attached to them were a copy of the agenda for today and the minutes. Okay, so first of all, we'll have a look at the agenda and that, and I can, if needed, for those that may not have it, I can basically pop up a copy. Just give me a second here to do that. So we'll go down here, go up here, go to here, go to here, and go here. So we have a copy of the agenda for today. Basically how this is going to go. Welcome to all members, which we did in introductions. We're now going to ask for approval of the agenda, but before I do that, we'll see if there's any changes or deletions or additions, and then we're going to go into the minutes. I'm going to give my president's report on the state of the club in a year in review. Then we're going to turn it over to Lou to do a treasurer's report on the operational costs, dues, and how our club funds are at this present time. Then we're going to do an election for the structure and the elections for our position of vice president and our secretary treasurer position. I'll explain how our structure is all set up that for everyone. Then I'm going to do a bit of a presentation on the V3 RMI overview and the potential of project upgrades and what needs to be done on that. Then I'm going to turn it over to Lou and Rusty to talk about our web page and Facebook page, club website, and of course our new YouTube page too, which has been an addition this year. And then we're going to briefly talk about Field Day, Canada Day, and Lighthouse and that. And with Igor on board, we'll see exactly what can take place right now. Unfortunately, get-togethers and that are concluded, but they're supposed to stop at the end of May. So we'll talk about that more. And then other club events we'll plan for, you know, some of the events that we had planned will probably be postponed again due to the COVID. And then we'll talk about a Zoom events in the round table. And then any other club business, maybe some of you have got questions or aspects of the club, things that you want, and then we'll do closing remarks with that. So that's what's on board. Are there any additions or any deletions or any changes anybody wants to come forward with, please? All right, hearing none, then basically we'll look for somebody to move the agenda and a seconder.
I'll move the agenda, Al.
Okay, we've got Claude to move it.
V3EMG seconding.
And EMG to second. Yeah, just yell out. Everybody puts their hands up. It's hard. So just unmute and yell your name. And that's good. All right, thank you. All in favor? You can raise your hand. Okay, good. Let me just flip page. Good. Any opposed? Okay, seeing none. Carried. Thank you very much in relation to that. All right, the next item that we sent to everyone was the minutes, and I can post the minutes up for everybody if you'd like to have a look at that. Just give me 2 seconds and get rid of that. Go to the minutes, bring those up. Okay, minimize that. Sorry, Zoom takes a little longer than having it running right in front of you that I can put up on a page there. So where did we go? I don't know if that's it or not. Nope. Okay, I don't know why that didn't go off. Just give me a minute, people. I do apologize for this. Okay, there's that. Maybe I'll minimize that. And then go here. Go here. Go to here. Go to here. Go to here. And oh, there we go. Okay, it did show up finally. Sorry about that. Okay, these were the minutes. As some of you know, we had a Zoom meeting last year for our AGM. It had to be canceled. I'll talk about that more. We were going to get together back in March, but it was canceled. But we ran it on Sunday, August 30th via Zoom. We had the number of people. I'm not going to read line for line because it's quite an extensive, and thank you very much, Lou, for your detailed minutes. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to read them. And that we called to order and approved that. We discussed the minutes. The minutes were approved. I gave a state of the address to the club in relation to what we've done and where we were going. Lou did her financial report, a few questions pertaining to that with relation to that. And then we did the elections. Thank you very much for everyone. You elected me for a 2-year position as your president. I finished the first year and looking forward to the second year with you. And then, of course, we have nominations and elections for our secretary treasurer and vice president today. We have our director positions, which have been filled. So thank you for that. We did some amendments to the bylaws. Those were proposed and accepted by the membership. We talked about membership dues, and it was increased from $30 to $40 for a single membership and $60 for family. That was approved and changed. So thank you for that. We talked about the directors section. Amendments to the bylaws were completed. We did some ideas for RMI, and that in regards to getting the stuff there, and we had just had the antenna installed, so we were waiting to see how the antenna performed, and then we closed out the meeting at 5:20. So the meeting went from 1 o'clock to 5:20, so it was fairly long, but a lot discussed. So are there any corrections, changes, anything that I'll open it up to the floor that anybody might have on the minutes from last year?
Mr. President, may I suggest a movement of acceptance of the last year's minutes?
All right, VA3 WFO. Now, what we have to, I just have to address this, and I'll get our secretary treasurer to make any motions, vote on any of the items. You have to be a paid member of the club for this present year. Okay, our bylaws state that. I do appreciate people coming forward, and you may be Wilf, but I'm not sure, as I'll leave that to, and I'm getting a nod that he is. Yes, okay. Thank you, Lou. So I will take the motion by Wilf to pass the minutes. May I get a seconder, please?
I'll second it. The E3 Mike MD Oscar.
V3 MIO. Maureen, thank you for seconding it. And can I get hands for approval? Okay, and anybody that is in disregard or no, I don't see anything. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and all in favor, or well, we've done that. I guess it's carried. And that I saw a little deletion or delay in your hand there, Krista. Did you have a question? No. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Just wanted to make sure I don't miss anyone that way. All right. So thank you very much for that, everyone, and thank you again to Lou for doing those minutes. They were quite detailed and excellent job. Okay, next on the agenda is my presentation to the club in regards to the welfare and health of the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club.
Dropping out and dropping out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, somebody, if I could please ask people to mute your microphones. Okay. Bob? Your audio is coming through. You said I'm dropping out. Bob, are you able to hear me? V3ET.
I'm here, I think.
Okay, we're hearing you talking. Am I dropping out?
Yeah, I'm getting dropouts every so often, and you freeze on camera.
Okay, then am I doing it to other people?
No, you're good here. Must be his.
Okay, you've got some internet issues then, Bob. If
I just did a speed test with Eastlink. It's 150 megabytes per second, for cripe's sake.
Well, I'm not getting any complaints from any of the other memberships that are on board.
Well, I'm going to leave the meeting and I'll catch up on the website afterwards. for
Okay.
results. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Because
you
I don't
can.
want to keep disrupting things.
Oh, you're not disrupting. Just mute your microphone. That's all we're asking.
Yeah. Well, I'm already video.
Okay, that's perfect. You can stay and listen, Bob. No problem at all. We got you muted. Thank you. And you know what? We're going to get these issues with Zoom. Welcome to the world of the internet and everything else like that. It makes a bit of an issue, but I mean, it's not a problem. Anyway, this is a little formal meeting versus our Saturday morning get-together. So if I tend to be a little anal here this evening or this afternoon, it's not that I mean to be that way. It's just that we have to get through the meeting and that with it. So anyway, first of all, I do want to welcome everyone and thank you for attending, giving up a Sunday afternoon to attend our meeting. I know we're all anxious to get out there and get work done. The gods must be on our side today because it is cold and it's windy and kind of miserable out there. So that may be why we have such an excellent turnout for our meeting there in that. If I can take you back to March of 2020 in regards to the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club, I know early March we were all excited. We were planning to get together on the 29th of March at the Pinewood Inn restaurant in Espanola. We had a big luncheon planned for everyone, and then we were going to retire to their meeting room to have our annual general meeting. Notice went out to the effect on the 3rd of March to everyone, and then the Ides of March arrived on the 15th of March, and everything was locked down, being declared by the World Organization of Health, the WHO, advising that we're in a worldwide pandemic and everything was shut down. So unfortunately, we had to cancel that annual general meeting. Everything was shut down and we postponed it, and we did eventually get it on the 30th of August 2020 on Zoom, similar to what we're doing today. Everything was on hold within the club. We all lived through unprecedented times. Our lives were all up in an upturn. Family members weren't being able to be seen. Anything that we planned to do was on hold. Club breakfasts that we used to get together every Saturday morning had to be canceled. The socialization of the Manitoulin Club almost ceased to exist, other than our nets taking place, which we constantly did on a weekly area. So not only did our breakfast stop, we had to cancel our AGM, as I said. The ability to get together just to do things, you know, to go up to the tower site to work on, to get together for somebody's helping them with radios, having people come to other residences to help tune radios or program things, all ceased to exist, and it became very, very difficult to get together. So as president of your club at that time, I looked and saying, how are we going to keep this club going and keep things operational? I discussed with my executive at that time, with Lou and Rusty, and between the three of us, we came up with some ideas. And the first thing that we wanted to do was, as your president, is look at the well-being of everyone. That was the most important thing, because I know we have a lot of single operators here that live and not necessarily shut-ins, but you know, you may not have other family members that are able to check on you or whatever. And I look at the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club as a family. You know, I mean, we're all friends here. We're all you know, people that talk to one another on the basis, and we also socialized together, and that was important to keep the club operational. So one of the things that was discussed, and we put it out to the membership, was to keep the nets going, of course, on Thursday evenings and Sunday mornings, but we looked at doing a wellness net, something that we could do, or an informal get-together on the repeater now that we had RMI, we had some connection issues, and we were waiting for, and that was the other thing that was put on hold, of course, was the ongoing with RMI. I know I was happy to report at the annual general meeting that would have taken place in March that the payments, we have the money. We're just setting a date for the riggers to come and get that new antenna up, and that was put on hold, and everything was, so I mean, it wasn't good. So the suggestion of running just an informal get together at 10 o'clock every morning. We didn't know what it was going to do, whether I'd get response and that. So I said, well, I'll take that on and kind of oversee it. And it slowly started, and believe it or not, it did take off. It was great. People started checking in. I thought, geez, every day people are going to get tired of that, and it's not going to hold out. But here we are, over a year away, and thanks to Jeff, E3JFN, for coming up with the idea of the hams of the round table, kind of taking from the knights of the round table or that, but basically getting hams together, sitting around round table, rag chew fashion. And that's what we do Monday through Friday, every day on RMI at 10 a.m. And definitely after a year, and people are still willing to check in, even though sometimes it's hard, and I hear people say, oh, geez, I don't have anything to talk about, so I guess I'll go out. Well, that's fine too. You don't have to have a particular topic, but believe me, we've discussed everything from soup to nuts and back again. So it's worked out extremely well. And on average, it lasts about an hour. And I want to thank people for taking the lead on that. I can't be there every single day. And people like Jeff and Bob, ETE, and Janice, POX, and Ted even took a spot. Thank you. And anybody else that wants to pick it up and take it, or if you want to look at future and see about somebody taking one day a week and doing that rather than have myself do it 5 days a week. I don't mind doing it, but I want to give that opportunity to other members of the club. And it's a good practice for learning in relation to emergency communications and doing some direction, even though it's very informal. And you get to know everybody too, and that. And then the other thing we got thinking about, well, everybody's missing getting together for breakfast on Saturday morning, and we didn't get all the members of the club to come out for breakfast. But for those that did, truly missed it. And, I talked to a lot of those members, and they were very, definitely, they wanted to know if, how are we going to keep continuing this, because it wasn't safe to meet in restaurants. And at the beginning, a lot of restaurants were closed down. So the idea of doing this Zoom, I had done Zoom with our council, on municipal council, and that with it. So that was taking place. And as a result of that, we looked at our Zoom get-togethers in regards to having a Zoom get-together. I see a hand up from BJN. Did you have a question, BJ? No, just accidentally put it on. You're muted if you're trying to talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Al, I just had a quick question. With the weekly round the table nets, does that have to be a member in order to take net control for that?
Absolutely not. No. The way we run the club, you do not have to be a member to join any of the activities or functions that the Manitoulin Amateur Club has. We would love to have you be a member and that, but you do not have to be a member. So checking into our nets, coming to our Zoom presentations, as you see, we have people from all over Ontario, and that most of them are members, but a lot aren't, and you don't have to be a member of our club to do that. So you're welcome to take part in that, BJ, if that's your question.
All right, I just wanted to double check. Okay, thank you.
You're more than welcome, for sure. Okay, so we looked at doing the Zoom. I didn't know how that was going to react with everyone, but needless to say, I don't need to belate on that. Over a year of doing Zoom every Saturday, we're averaging about 30 people attending per Zoom session. So it seems to be staying on. I want to thank all the members that have done presentations just recently, Andy, ORE, and certainly Igor, Zulu Foxtrot, and of course Stan did a presentation yesterday. Phenomenal. And any of you others that do presentations, that's what it's all about. And what I'm looking as your president is that I'm going to now look beyond the Manitoulin group or the Zoom group to bring people in, speakers in from other areas. There's a lot of people. I received an email from DX Engineering if we're looking for speakers, ICOM, Yaesu, System Fusion. These are the sales people and the people that put the systems together, and other organizations that are out there on various topics, and these would be the experts. So I'm looking at if people are interested in that to bring these people in and that with it. Now, the summer's coming. I realize the numbers may be coming down in relation to that because you're going to be out Saturday mornings. Who wants to sit in front of a computer if it's 30 degrees out and you can go out on your boats or go for a bike ride or do whatever you want to do on a weekend, right? So we'll still keep continuing doing them, but certainly if the pandemic continues, I still plan to do them on a weekly basis. And we can certainly discuss that at the later time within the meeting, that even when the pandemic is all over and done with, would you like to see this continue in relation, maybe not as frequent every Saturday morning, but at least maybe once or twice a month to get the club together, people to see faces and maybe do a topic of discussion. So keep that in mind. So then the next thing that happened, unfortunately, we had field day, and we were looking forward to doing field day and that, and then of course the pandemic, so we had to cancel. But luckily, Igor did attend, and he worked single operator and was able to, the occasional people from a distance in masks came up to see his site at McLean's Mountain, and thanks to Igor, he put us on the map. He won the single operator for Canada Day, and that with it. Now, a lot of you worked from home with Field Day and did extremely well, and that worked out okay. But again, another annual event that the club did that unfortunately had to be canceled. We normally at the Gore Bay Airport, but McLean's Mountain worked out fairly well, and I know Igor has talked about that, and we'll discuss what's going to happen this year shortly. Then the other big thing that became a big disappointment to the club was the July picnic get-together. That is something that I know you all look forward to, a chance to get together, socialize, potluck picnic, which is a great formula. The food was amazing previous years. We had door prizes for people that came in, and we had upwards to 100 people that would attend. We had an excellent venue here in Little Current down by the waterfront under the pavilion. So we had shade, we had picnic tables, washroom facilities. If you had grandchildren or children, they could come and play on the playgrounds and the slides and go swimming if they wanted to, and unfortunately that was shut down. I will talk about that, but this year we're not sure what's going to happen. I don't anticipate us having a picnic this year, unfortunately. As an executive of a club, we have to look out for your safety. And the second question is getting the facilities. I know from being a municipal councillor, we are not putting out any of the municipal facilities to any organization at this point in time. And others are canceling as the as the summer is progressing. So we don't know. We're in the middle of a third wave right now, people. So we don't know where we're going to sit with that. Anyway, the other disappointing factor was we were all prepared to go ahead in early spring in April to have the riggers come up as soon as the snow cleared and get that new RMI antenna up and that. And believe me, I called and was on the phone constantly trying to say, when could this be done, and getting the final approval from the CBC and getting things moving along that way. And it looked like it was never going to be done. Finally, in July, I did get a call, and they said, we're coming August 10th. And that took place, and they arrived, and the antenna, as most of you know, and we gave a presentation at last year's annual general meeting that the antenna got changed out. And now we're almost a year into it, and the antenna has been amazing. The signals coming in from all around, even on handhelds with a few watts of certainly, and that corrected the problem with the RMI repeater. The new feed line, the antenna, it took quite a bit to get it in, but they finally did it, and it wasn't a cheap expenditure, as I'm sure Lou will tell you in a few minutes and that. The other thing we were looking forward to in the summertime was the lighthouse event. We were hoping to get together with the Janet Head Lighthouse, and they requested we attend. This was way back in January and before Christmas. And then, of course, as you know, the pandemic struck, and that had to be canceled too. So that was an unfortunate, and there were other events that I know people like Martin and Jeff and Lou attended, like the kite days and those type of events and community events with it, parades, all our parades that we did as a club, the Terry Fox runs, everything like that was canceled. So literally as a club, with all the community service work that we did, was canceled and has been ever since. So that has been a big detriment to our club. However, we continued on with the Zoom contacts, socializing, giving different educational aspects on different topics. I was able to fill you all in on our repeaters with D-Star and System Fusion and DMR and IRLP and Asterix and all that as the years went on, or the year went on, and able to update people with it. Antenna projects came in, and the last I've heard is every time we do a new topic, it's costing people money because they're buying new items or building new projects and that with it. But that's good. That's good for a club. It keeps you engaged, and that was the other commitment that I had, is to keep you as a member of our club engaged. As the fall came along, I know Lou and I and the rest of you were talking about resurrecting the Chi-Chi-Mon dinner experience. Any of you that have been part of the Manitoulin Club that we had years ago, we did a dinner excursion, and we were looking at possibly resurrecting that. Of course, that had to be canceled too. So we had ideas, and they haven't gone away. They've just been postponed, and that's the unfortunate thing. And I wish I had a crystal ball to tell everyone what's going to happen in the next 6 months from now, but we don't know. It goes day from day, and things change. The other sad thing that we had to do this past year was cancel our Christmas dinner. That was a very big highlight of our club and organization of getting that together. We were down at Carol and Earl's restaurant in South Baymount, and they put on an amazing meal for us, very inexpensive. And that, which I understand, are under new ownership of people, and they have excellent food. So, but I can't say whether that's going to happen this year or not. We just don't know. And the other thing is, I know a lot of you are getting vaccinated as time goes on, and that's improving, and that's a good thing. But then again, how comfortable do you feel in getting together as a large group too, right? So, and we still have to look and think as a health issue and a safety issue for the club. We don't want to be seen as putting on a large function for people and then people getting sick as a result of that. So we have to be careful with it. Our membership increased, and that we had people that did not renew, which was fine, and that can happen and that, but our payments have been fairly good, and I'll leave that to Lou to talk about that and what's needed to be done. Even with the increase, we were a little worrisome in relation to what was happening with that. So Christmas came along and the new year, and you know, I'm thinking goodbye 2020, yes 2021. And we were all excited, as I'm sure most of you were, with hopes of seeing our family members and getting out and doing a lot of things in that regard. And unfortunately, we're the first quarter is gone. Here we are in the end of April, and we're in worse condition with the pandemic and people getting sick than we were at last year at this time with the first wave. So we don't know where this is going to go, people, in that. It's I wish I had a really exciting report to give you, but I can say that the club is surviving, the club is holding still, and we will be together as a club as long as we are. I have two excellent executive people, Lou and Rusty, and they came to me in the early part of the year and said, Al, what do you think about Facebook? Both knowing what they knew, what I thought about Facebook, just from my years of policing and some of the issues and dealing with Facebook, the nightmares. And I said, absolutely. If that's going to bring more people in and post items and get information out there. So they jumped on it and took that. And I think our Facebook page is doing an amazing job. And a lot of you posted items to that, and it's working extremely well. And then thanks to Rusty, we had to change servers, and Rusty came up with a new format for our website, which is doing excellent. And we still have a lot more work to do it and post that, but it's a slow procedure, but we do have that, and a lot of people are going on. We've updated with doing PayPal and e-transfers for, or not so much PayPal, but e-transfers for our membership dues. That's been working great. And just recently, and I'll let Rusty and Lou talk to you about it, but our YouTube page with posting some of our events so people can see that. So with social media, keeping things as best as we can, the club is very, very active, and even more so in one of the clubs in Ontario doing all these things, which I don't see a lot of other clubs doing. So that has helped quite a bit. So in the next year, I have a couple of main priorities. My first priority, and commit to all of you, to keep the club going and to keep it safe. We must be safe with everyone. We don't want to see our members getting sick. So I'm going to continue to do the daily roundtable nets. We're going to do the Zoom get-togethers on Saturday morning to check on people and that with it. And to keep engagement, to keep you engaged as a member of the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club. If you decide to join us or not, you're going to be engaged if you're part of our group. We brought in members from other clubs around Ontario and Canada and elsewhere, and you know, we haven't seen people been dropping off. Most people are here. So if we can keep you engaged, that's very a bit. And of course, keeping the Zooms, keeping new speakers coming in on various topics. I take each and every one of you, what you say, to heart, and certainly in relation to you doing presentations, it's wonderful. Every time somebody's done a presentation, I haven't heard, what the hell did you bring him or her on for? You know, I haven't heard anything like that. Whether or not you're engaged or not, you've been polite. It's worked, but I'll tell you, I've been glued to it, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. We're going to try and look for some new membership for the club. It's been busy. The online courses with RAC have been amazing. Some of you are graduates of both the basic and the advanced. We'd like to see that continue. I encourage you to take the RAC courses. They're excellent. But Rusty and I have looked, and hopefully this fall, summertime is not a time to try and teach a course online. So this fall, we're going to look at doing our own Manitoulin radio course to get people licensed with the basic, and hopefully get them licensed and get new membership to our club. So I know despite the world on the outside is not looking the great, I can tell you the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club is healthy. We're engaged, we're active, we're in good financial situation despite everything else. We've got a brand new antenna feed line and brand new repeaters all set to go. We have just about every connection that you would need in the digital and amateur world. We are looking at future considerations in regards to getting a club station and a club site together. The airport is offered a space, and I've talked to Igor in relation to setting up antennas and club stations, and as soon as we can do that physically and safely, that is going to be one of the goals if I'm still your president of the club. So with that membership, that's my report to the membership on regards to the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club for 2020 to 2021. And I will open it up for any comments, questions, concerns, anything else that you may have. And then I'll ask for someone to accept my report. Thank you. I'll open it up if there's any questions and that with it. All right, hearing none then, thank you for my report. Can I have a mover to move my report to the membership?
V3ET moved.
Okay, thank you, Bob. ETE, seconder.
I second it. Dennis, VA3DCB.
Thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate it. All in favor? Okay, opposed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Carried. Thank you very much. So thank you, people. I will have more information on the updates of RMI and that as I do that presentation. So with that, any further ado, I will now turn it over to my Secretary Treasurer, Lou Noble, V3LDY, to give us our financial report to the membership on the radio club. So Lou, just give me 30 seconds to bring up the report. Go over here. Okay, go here, here, go here, go here, here, and here. And you can just tell me when to move the sheets there, Lou. So I'll turn it over to you. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Lou, all yours.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I normally have a pretty loud mouth, so we should be okay. And Al, if you'll go to the first sheet, please.
Ready?
There we go. We're actually in pretty good shape financially right now. To date, we've had $2,400 in dues paid to us, which is awesome. We've had $2,264.53 in donations. $2,000 of that was from the Manitoulin Wind Farms. They had originally given us $1,000, and once they realized who we were and what we do, they actually gave us an additional $2,000, which was awesome. Yeah, no proceeds from the picnic, unfortunately, because we couldn't have it. So our total income has been $4,664.53. Now I have to tell you, the 53-cent thing, not normal for us, but we have a couple of members in the States who send us a check every year. We don't hear them very often because they're not here very often. So with the exchange, we get these oddball numbers. Now on to our expenditures, the ouchie part. In bank fees, you went backwards, Al. There we go.
I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's quite all right. In bank fees, we paid $44.94, which isn't too bad, actually. Nothing for postage and supplies. The odd check I send out, I just pay for the stamp myself. Our internet charges, $386.46. Now we do pay that twice a year. Yeah, the refit for RMI, it was an ouch, but it was actually a very, very good deal at $8,382.33. Now we had to get engineering letters, of course, for CBC to make sure all our I's were dotted and our T's were crossed. And that cost us $904. The rack insurance was $1,048.40. And you'll see an entry there for a check to me. We decided Rusty is the one who takes care of the Broadcastify stream and recording for RMI, et cetera, et cetera. Well, he needed some equipment upgrades, and rather than see him shoulder that himself, the club decided that we would reimburse him. So that was a total of $200. So our starting balance for the year was $14,686.77, which was really pretty. And then our net expenses, $10,966.14. Our net income, of course, $46.64.53. So our current bank balance is $8,385.16. We have $38 in petty cash. So our total cash assets at the moment, $8,423.16. which is very pretty. And Al, no spending. I want to keep it like that. Next slide, please. So our membership, we have lost a bunch, but we've gained some as well. So we have 4 life/honorary members. We have 13 family memberships with a total of 28 members in it, and 48 single memberships. So we have total active membership of 80, total paying members is 76. Next slide, please. Now, up until today, we have 41 singles paid out of 48. That is amazing. We have 12 family memberships paid with only 1 outstanding. I am thrilled that the membership is doing what they do. It's awesome. Okay, the next slide, please, Al, not Jeff, Al. So in 2020, the unpaid dues was $860. That was 5 family memberships and 14 single memberships. 2021, unpaid dues is only $340. I am so impressed. And if you want to switch to the next one. So if all our memberships are paid by the end of March every year, we get $2,700. Our fixed expenses for the year are our internet, which comes to $772.92. Our hydro, which is $649.75. So gives our total fixed at $1,422.67. Now, the rack insurance will vary every year depending on who is a rack member, who isn't. So over a 3-year average, say $1,000. Miscellaneous expenses, you know, picnic expenses, postage, that kind of thing, $70. So our average total expenses for the year is usually $24.92.67, and that does not include any unexpected costs. This is why it's so vital that the membership pay in a timely manner, so we have the money in the bank to cover this stuff. And the next slide, please. Summer is coming, guys. Hang in there. You'll be able to get out fishing. Just remember to bring your radios. And that's it from me.
Well, thank you very much, Lou. That is definitely amazing. And if I can just quickly go back, we bring in, if everybody paid their membership, $2,700, and we put out, say, $2,500. So that only allows us $200 leeway. Like I said, your membership goes to paying for internet, hydro, insurance costs, the picnics, and everything else like that with it. So, and that's at $40 and $60. We are not looking at increasing this executive at increasing your membership, just to continue it. And hopefully your $40 is a single, or your $60 investment into the club is worth it, because this is what goes to you. And just to remind you, if you are a member of our club, you are insured for $5 million liability under the RAC insurance policy. So, Lou, that was amazing. Thank you for putting all those figures together. I could certainly not do that. And on behalf of the membership and that of the club, thank you for all you do as our secretary and treasurer. You keep everything together and right down to the penny. And she controls me, people, too. I can't spend a dime. So that may be a good thing. So
that's invaluable right there. Judy can't even do that as well, I don't think.
So as a result of that, I'm now going to open it up to the floor. Are there any questions for Lou, or any other discussions in regards to the finances of the club? Okay, I've got Frank. First of all, it would help if you can use that hand signal with it, but if that's down under reactions at the bottom, it puts your box to the top with a hand. So we'll go from there. And with that, Frank, thank you. Go ahead.
I have a question for Lou. How many of our members are also RAC members in terms of affecting the insurance?
Well, I don't have the exact figure on me, Frank, but I would say roughly 65 to 70% are RAC members. So it definitely helps.
Again, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Frank.
No, I was just concurring with her. That's excellent. It would be nice if the number was a little higher, because we would pay less, if I'm not mistaken, for the RAC insurance portion, correct?
Right. So as your RAC director for Northern and Eastern Ontario, I can tell you the formula changes slightly year to year, but if you are a RAC member, the club only pays $1. If you're not a RAC member, we pay $11 out of your $40 insurance, roughly, give or take $1 or $2. Okay, any other questions? Show of hands. I'll flip pages. I've got to flip pages here just to make sure I see everybody's box. Oh, I see a clap from Joey, but and a thumbs up from there, but I don't see anybody's hands.
I got a point out.
Oh, please go ahead, Joey.
Lou, could you go back to the, sorry, Al, could you go back to the expense summary page? I guess that's number 2 page.
Sure, just give me a second. Let me bring it up larger. Come on. What's going on here? Okay, this is the page you want to see.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and raise it further. There we go. Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is Joey being a troublemaker over 1 penny. Lou, you quoted bank charges as being $44.94.
Bank fees here, 44.95 on this.
Okay, I just wanted a correction. Lou mentioned $44.94. I've done too many audits.
Okay.
No, and that's fine, Joey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Al,
Lou, make sure you raise Joey's fee by a cent, okay? Thank you. Next.
Al, it doesn't seem to be. Are you hearing me?
You said yes, Al. It doesn't seem to be, and then you went blank.
Oh, the feedback is only thumbs up or clapping. There doesn't seem to be a hands up.
Okay, so what you have to do is you have to do a Zoom update.
Okay.
To get the latest version, to get all the extra bells and whistles on
okay.
it. Yeah.
So I was going to say, would it not be an idea to charge $10 more if you're not a RAC member?
Well, we did look at that, indeed, and it doesn't, you know, but then it gets into a financial, and please correct me on this, Lou, if you pay $50 and I pay $40 and the next person pays whatever, it becomes a bit of a...
That might be a last resort effort or something, I don't know, but that's not a bad idea because, you know, bottom line is if you're not a RAC member, it costs us more money. So you should pay more money for your membership. I don't have a problem with that. I see that. That's a good idea.
Well, that's definitely something that we can take into consideration from a membership and look at, you know, increasing the dues from non-RAC members. Of course, as a RAC director, I would love to all see you as a member of RAC, and I won't go on my RAC so.
And that would not be an issue.
Question?
Yes, Bob.
How much are the RAC memberships?
They can run anywhere from electronic from about $35 a year up to if you get a Maple Leaf membership, $100.
$100. Yes, I know about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought it should be, everybody should have an idea of how much the RAC membership would cost.
Right. Just for the magazine, the regular, I think it's $56 plus GST.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
I also understand a lot of you belong to numbers of clubs and different organizations and it's hard, you know.
We really have to look at the bottom line for the club, though. The bottom line is if you're not a RAC member, it costs us more, $10 more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's something we can take in consideration at the end if somebody wants to make a motion to that effect of increasing.
But also, we have to take into, this is Claude, Al?
Yes, go ahead.
We have to take into consideration that other members might be part of another club that do belong to RAC and they do pay their RAC membership. Okay.
And they have a RAC membership number, and it's not an issue. It doesn't matter. You belong to RAC. Doesn't matter what club you belong to. As long as you pay your RAC membership dues, you're a RAC member.
See, if you're
but the membership that you're paying, okay, that particular club, okay, will be that's where the discount's going to go. It's not going to go, let's say, to the Manitoulin club.
No, whoa, now that's a good point too. I don't know about that. I don't. Yeah.
Like if you're a member of the, let's say, Elliott Lake, and they have RAC, and you're a member of the Sudbury and they have RAC, and let's say, for instance, if you're an Elliott Lake member and you're a RAC membership through Elliott Lake, because now, and you're also a member of the Manitoulin club, but because you don't qualify for a RAC insurance under the Manitoulin club, you're going to charge an extra $10.
This is hurting my brain here.
You're
overcomplicating it. If you're a RAC member, and you belong to 10 clubs, it does, because the club's going to get the discount. Every club is going to get the discount. So, you know, your membership it's going to go down with our club.
But here's the issue, okay? If you're a Sudbury Club member, okay, and you're covered under RAC, under Sudbury, you're come to Manitoulin Island and attend our picnic, fall and break a leg, you're not covered unless you're a Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club member.
Well, there you go.
With your RAC coverage. So if you're RAC coverage under Sudbury, it's only for Sudbury Club sanctioned events.
And it's not going to cost you any more money, and it's not going to cost us any more money. It's
Okay,
just
a comment on this, please.
Yes, go ahead, Eugene.
Yeah, I agree that the extra charge, the $10, that would be a good idea. The only thing that I'm concerned, like our family membership, and that would be a little bit steep.
Are you a RAC member, Eugene?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't
but
think,
he's talking for non-RAC members.
I don't think Jenny should have to be a member of RAC also.
Right. All right. Well, that's something we can definitely bring up unless somebody wants to make a motion to that effect right now. We'll move on with the agenda. Okay, we'll hold it there. Can I get a mover to accept Lou's financial report for the club, please?
I move that we accept the minutes or the, yeah.
And I second it.
On
I
Lou's
second it.
do.
Okay, moved by Maureen V3MIO, seconded by Rusty V3WVA. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you again, Lou, for a wonderful presentation in relation to that. All right, now the next area that we're going to look at is our structure for the Manitoulin Amateur Radio Club in regards to your executive. Under our bylaws, we have, oh, sorry, a question? Nope. Okay. Again, under our bylaws, we have 3 executive positions for the club. You have your president, you have your vice president, and you have your secretary treasurer position. So there are 3 executive positions for the club in itself. The way we have it are in our bylaws, there are 2-year terms to sit in the seats of the office and that. And what we do is we offset the 2 years. Myself as president, or the president's position is on the 1 year and is elected for a 2-year term. And then the following year, the other 2 executive positions are elected for another 2-year term. The reason for doing that and the offset is so that you do have an executive member with experience within the club should one of the executive positions fall and it's a re-election, or somebody withdraws or steps down and we have to appoint a new person until the election of another area. So you always have somebody from the executive with a bit of experience and understanding on what goes on within the club. So thankfully to everyone, I was elected last year for a 2-year position. So my term comes up at our annual general meeting on 2022. But this year, Lou has served 2 years and Rusty has served 2 years, and that with it. So their positions have come up. I have received 3 nominations already in relation to individuals that have come forth, and I'll read those out and then I'll open them up for further nominations. So The first one came from Dennis Burnett, VA3 DCB, to nominate Rusty Oxier, V3 WVA, for another year, 2-year period as vice president, and secretary treasurer
I
position.
should have thought of this earlier.
I'm sorry?
Joey, you need to mute.
If there's somebody.
Sorry,
has,
people.
Okay. All right. Secretary treasurer Luella Noble, V3 LDY, for another term of 3 years. The second nomination, and I did call for nominations just to let people know on the various nets, and it was in my email that I sent a month ago for the notice of the meeting in relation to that. The second person that I received nomination from was Sue Miron, V3 LDE. Sue put in for vice president Rusty Oxier, V3 WVA, for another 2-year term, and secretary treasurer Luella Noble, V3 LDY, for another 2-year term. I received a third nomination for Maureen Nightingale, Gale, V3 MIO, and she selected Vice President Rusty Oxier, V3 WVA, for another 2-year term, and Secretary Treasurer Luella Noble, V3 LDY. So those are the 3 nominations that I've received. I'm now opening it to the floor for any other nominations for the position of Vice President and Secretary Treasurer. Please come forth if you wish.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move the nominations be accepted.
Okay, thank you, Wilf, VA3 WFO. And that, well, first of all, before we do that, we need to check with each member to see if they're willing to stand for another 2-year position. So with that, I'll go to our Vice President first of all, Rusty, V3 WVA. Rusty, are you willing to stand for another term for 2 years as our Vice President?
If you guys can stand me, I will humbly accept.
Okay, thank you. And we'll go to our Secretary Treasurer, Lou. Are you willing to stand for another 2 years?
I will definitely accept, as long as I don't have to stand for 2 years. I prefer to sit, guys. Thank you so much for your faith and nominations.
All right. So I've had a motion put forward for accepting the present nominations. I'll take one last call for any further nominations. Going once. Going twice. All right, hearing none. So the present nominations are forward. We have 2 people. We do not have to vote because I believe they're acclaimed because there's nobody running against them. So they're good. Congratulations to our Vice President and Secretary Treasurer. Congratulations for another 2 years, and thank you. I can tell you, as your president, they are amazing people to work with. They keep me in line, and believe me, Rusty and I have tried to run away many times, but Lou won't allow us, so we're good to go. So, all righty, excellent. So thank you for that, and welcome aboard. I'm looking forward to working with you for at least another year.